Hi, beautiful people. I am back with another video, and today I am going to be creating this viral TikTok girl dinner savory plate edition. Yes, I am so excited about making this video. This was so delicious, and I love to eat like this. And I know a lot of the girls love to eat like this too. So this was amazing. I actually want to eat like this every day. As you can see in the beginning, I got this beautiful chip and dip plate for autumn with the pumpkins on it that I got from Lidl, because I wanted one of those white bowls that everyone was using, but I couldn't find one anywhere. So I just went ahead and got the chip and dip platter, and it worked perfectly. Okay, so first thing first, I washed my onion and I cut it up and I placed it on the tray. The onion was a little spicy, so it had me in tears up over there, but I got through it. All right, next thing, I am cutting up some mini cucumbers into spears, and I'm going to cut those spears in half. And then I am going to just layer them on the platter as well. I did use 2 mini cucumbers, so this is the first one. And then I'm just gonna nicely lay that on the platter right next to the onions, like so, and spread those out to make it look beautiful. I feel like presentation is a really big deal when it comes to food and also the quality. So you can never go wrong with a beautiful presentation and quality ingredients. So I did purchase all of this stuff from, I believe I went to Lidl or Lidl, however you pronounce it, and just grabbed all of the items. Some things I already had on hand, so I just utilized some things that I already had. So this is the other cucumber that I'm just going to place directly on top of the first layer of cucumbers. Aren't they so cute? Doesn't it look so delicious already? Like, my mouth is watering just watching this bag. Looks super amazing. Okay, so the next thing, there you have the cucumbers and the onions on the platter. So next we have the tomato that I'm going to be cutting up. I believe this is just like a regular beefsteak tomato. I'm not sure. I didn't even look at the label when I was in Lidl as far as what type of tomato it is. And I'm just going to slice this tomato up, and then I'm going to slice it in halves. Again, I'm not going to be using this whole tomato, as I believe I might be making another one of these the exact same way tomorrow, except for I might switch up the meat. So tomorrow I might have sardines. Yeah, your girl loves sardines, and also the sardines have been doing work on my skin. Like, I really look phenomenal as usual, but everybody has just been giving me extra compliments on my skin. Okay, so I am, and it's probably due to the fact that I haven't been eating that many carbs because I am allergic to gluten. So that might be helping as well. But I just sliced up these tomatoes and then cut them in half again, and then I'm going to wipe off the cutting board so that the liquid from the tomatoes doesn't get on the bottom of my beautiful plate. And I am going to plate these tomatoes directly next to the cucumbers, and I'm kind of going to overlap them, as you can see here, a bit, just slightly overlap, and not too much. I believe there was like maybe 6 or 7 tomatoes that I used, and then I'm just gonna bag the rest of them up for the next time I get ready to use them. So that is what I'm doing right now, grabbing a Ziploc bag so that I could just package everything back up and put it in the refrigerator. I'm also going to put the onions in the I didn't have any leftover cucumbers, but I'm also going to put the onion inside of a Ziploc bag as well and just pop both of those in the refrigerator. So that's what you see me doing here. I'm grabbing the onion and putting it in a Ziploc bag as well to save for later, you know. We can utilize that in another dish. All right, there you have it. And I did take the cutting board to go and wash it. And then I was like, wait a minute, I need to bring it back because I still have to cut up my cheese. So I'm going to bring the cutting board back as soon as I wash it and just place it back where it was. But as you can see, I have the onions, cucumbers, and tomatoes. Now, I have white onions, but most of the recipes that I've seen, everybody is using the purple onions. So, yeah, I used what I had on hand. So I have a whole bag of yellow onions. So that's what I used to make it. And it was still delicious, you know. Even though red onions probably do have more benefits, it was still delicious. It was still bomb.com. So I'm all for that. All right, right here I have some everything bagel goat cheese. I love goat cheese. It tastes amazing. They did have a fig kind and a honey kind, but in the theme of the savoriness, I did the everything bagel. And usually every time I do something everything bagel, it is so delicious. So I figured, hey, this cheese probably would go best with this platter that I'm making. And it absolutely did. It was so amazing. It tastes great. 10 out of 10. I recommend. And so I'm putting the goat cheese in a Ziploc bag as well. And we're just going to pop that in the fridge and set it aside for a later time. All right. Now I am finished with my cutting board. And so far I have the goat cheese, the tomatoes, the cucumbers, and the onions on my platter. And next, as you can see right here, I have some hard salami that I am going to be placing up on the cutting board. I mean, not cutting board, the Savory girl dinner plate, snack plate as well. And I'm just rolling it up to make it look a little, you know, to give it a little razzle dazzle. Rolling it up and placing it on the plate. And I think I did like, I want to say maybe 6 pieces of this hard salami. Yeah, I think it's like 6 pieces. I don't know. I like ate 2 pieces earlier. You know, you got to test your products out, you know, before you just dive right in. But anyway, I definitely enjoyed making this so much. And I'm just rolling the salami up and I'm going to place them on top of each other because I have several other items that I have to put on this plate. So we have to make sure that, well, I have to make sure that I have enough room to put everything on the plate. So after I get finished rolling up the salami, I think I am going to scoot some things over so that I can make more space for the items that I'm about to add next. And I don't want certain things to be soggy, so I am going to make space for it. Alright, so now I have the salami, the goat cheese, the tomatoes, the cucumbers, and the onions. And now I have some bruschetta crispy little chips with rosemary. And I am keto, so, but these little chips, you can actually have 12 pieces, and that's only like 20 something grams of carbohydrates. And I didn't even have that many. I maybe had like 7 or 8 I'm putting on there. I don't know how many is that. I know it's less than 12, so we're in the clear for that. Yeah, I'm good on that. Yeah, I didn't. Okay, so like I was saying, I had to move some stuff around because I did not want my bread to get like too soggy too quickly. Of course, I wanted to have a little bit of juice on it, but I still have to put the other stuff on the plate. So I'm scooting it over, trying to see if I want to. Yeah, so I put the onions next to it, and then I'm going to put my other item in between the onion and the cucumber. Okay, so next I have some kimchi, which is different. I did not see anyone put kimchi on their platter. Personally, I like kimchi, and it's good for your gut and just good for you in general. And I felt like it went well with everything on the platter. So I decided to get this kimchi. And this kimchi actually had a pretty great taste to it. I was surprised because it's not an expensive one, or it's not a well-known brand. It was like in Lidl, and it was on the cheaper side, but it actually had a really nice flavor to it. I was super surprised by that, and I definitely liked that. So I put a nice amount of that kimchi on there. I only have a little bit left, so yeah, enough for like one more platter, which I'm probably going to make tomorrow, like I said previously. But yeah, and so far I have the cucumbers, the kimchi, the tomatoes, the everything bagel goat cheese, the hard salami, the bruschetta chips, the white onions, and now I am going to place the tzatziki dip in the middle. Oh yeah, baby, we're going hard on this one. The tzatziki dip in the middle, right over there on top of that big pumpkin. Look at that. It was so delicious too. Just like $2 is enough. Yeah, it actually was more than enough. Actually. Okay, so I'm closing that up and putting that away. Now I have some eggs, some boiled eggs. I bought 4 eggs so I can have 2 for tomorrow, and I'm using 2 for this platter, as you can see here in the video. So I had to make space for that because I just have so much amazing, delicious, nutritious items on this platter, and it looks absolutely fantastic, and it tasted just as fantastic as it looked. And I have some capers that I am going to just sprinkle throughout the whole entire tray. Yeah, just sprinkling it everywhere. Everywhere. Get that caper juice. Everywhere. Everywhere. All over everything. Yummy, yummy capers. Y'all like my song? Okay, anyways, yeah, it's starting to come together. And next, I have some dill that I'm going to be sprinkling all over it. Oh no. Next is the organic Spanish extra virgin olive oil that I am sprinkling all over. Just drizzle. Look at that delicious pour olive oil. Oh yeah. Looks amazing. Okay, and so next I have some red pepper, some crushed red pepper flakes that I'm going to sprinkle over there to give it a little kick to it as well. Because I was going to get those little mozzarella balls that had the peppers and stuff in there, but they didn't have it. They just had the regular mozzarella balls, the plain mozzarella balls, and I was just like, well, let me up it a notch with the goat cheese. So I did do goat cheese instead of the mozzarella. And so I just bought some red pepper flakes to sprinkle all over it. And last but not least, I am going to sprinkle some dill weed on top. I did not have fresh dill on hand, but I did have the dry dill seasoning on hand. So I used that. You know, like I said, I used what I had on hand, and it all came together. It all worked out. And this is the final product. Everything looks amazing. You have the bruschetta chips, the hard salami, the goat cheese, the eggs, the tomatoes, the cucumbers, the kimchi, the white onions, and the tzatziki with the capers and the red pepper flakes with the olive oil, the capers, a little bit of salt. When I tell you this was 10 out of 10, I will eat it every day. Like, and you feel light. You don't feel like you've ate too much. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know if you try this out. It's amazing. Oh my goodness. I love being a girl. Y'all have a great day. Later. Love you all. All right, I'm out.